Welcome to the Breathing Shift audio guide. This coping skill you're about to practice works well for when you're feeling strong and uncomfortable emotions or are experiencing distress. I also want to tell you now that it is okay if you try this skill and just find that it's not for you. There's nothing wrong with you, and no, you didn't fail this. It just wasn't meant for you. And you're allowed to move on and find another technique that better suits your needs. Let me tell you what to expect for today's practice. In a moment, I'll ask you to think of a positive memory that brings up good and happy feelings or emotions. I'll ask you to notice some things as you concentrate on this memory. Then, I'll ask you to bring up a memory that causes low levels of distress or discomfort. For the purpose of practicing today, when thinking of the upsetting memory or event, I want you to think of something that's about a 3 or a 4 out of 10 if 10 is the most upsetting or distressing that it could be. After you've practiced this technique a few times and have become more familiar with it, you can use this skill for other memories that may have a naturally higher score. Let's begin our practice. If you're able to, gently close your eyes for this exercise, and I'll tell you when it's time to open them again. Start by taking 3 slow, deep breaths, inhaling through your nose and exhaling through your mouth. There's no need to rush this part, so go at a pace that's comfortable for you. We're just settling into our space together. Now, bring up a good, happy, or positive memory. As you focus on this memory, notice where your breath begins in your body. See if you can pinpoint where your breath is starting from and place your hand over that location of your body. Notice how it feels to have your breath start in that location. Keep breathing like this for a few moments, just concentrating on how it feels. Now, bring up a memory that causes a low level of distress. On a scale of 1 to 10, if 10 was the worst, this memory should be no higher than 4. As you think of this memory, notice how your breath might change. Try to pinpoint where it starts from now and place your hand over this location. Breathe like this for just a few breaths, just noticing and focusing on the shift that occurred. Now, place your hand back where it was at the beginning of this exercise while you were thinking of the positive event or memory. While still thinking of the slightly upsetting memory or event, purposefully change your breathing to start from the location that it was at the beginning of the exercise. Breathe like this for 10 breaths. And when you finish your last breath, you may open your eyes. Let's review this exercise for just a moment. If this technique worked well for you, you may have noticed that you were able to breathe from the location of the positive memory while still focusing on the slightly upsetting memory or event. You may have even noticed your distress levels lowered as you continued to breathe from this location. This technique may take practice for the first few times. If it's difficult to change the starting place of your breath, don't give up. Just keep patiently trying. If you didn't like this technique or found it unhelpful, remember that you have permission to choose another coping skill and leave this one behind. You can practice this skill with other memories or moments until it feels more natural for you. Then, if you're faced with something that has higher levels of distress and intensity, you'll be more familiar and comfortable using this skill in the future. Take a moment to recognize that you engaged in a practice of self-care today and that you took the intentional time to slow down. If no one else is around you to say it, or you can't quite say it to yourself yet, I'm proud of you for trying this skill, and I'm really glad that you are here today.